Hello there, you're watching our special coverage of one of China's most important international events on technology, the Zhongguancun Forum. This year's event is set to focus on improving cooperation and sharing technologies in order to face global challenges like climate and the pandemic. Chinese President Xi Jinping and other world leaders are expected to speak at the opening ceremony. The theme of this year is intelligence, health, carbon neutrality. A number of exciting breakthroughs in the field are set to make their first public appearance.
We will have a long-life superconducting qubit chip, a liquid helium-free dilution refrigerator, and the release of the ethical code for artificial intelligence. All of these will make their global debut at the Zhongguancun Forum. I believe many scientists, entrepreneurs, and innovators around the world will be interested in this.
A host of international organizations are heavily involved in the forum, and we are expecting to hear some speeches from some of their representatives. And they include UNESCO, the World Intellectual Property Organization, and the International Council for Science. Hundreds of Chinese and foreign enterprises will be displaying their latest products. Meanwhile, an international technology trade conference will also be held. We're now joined by our correspondent Yang Shanshan. She's at the exhibition center where the forum is held in Beijing and has a preview for us. Shanshan.
Yes, actually, the forum is going to open in just a few minutes, and the Chinese President Xi Jinping is going to address at the opening ceremony of the Zhongguancun Forum via video. And actually, the forum is held in the northern part of Beijing, and this area is known as China's Silicon Valley because it is home to numerous leading Chinese IT enterprises like Tencent and Baidu, as well as many startups. And the Zhongguancun Forum was established since 2007, and since then it has developed into an international platform for science and technology exchange and cooperation. This year, the forum has invited over 500 Chinese and foreign enterprises to showcase their latest products and technology and development. Over 60 events and seminars are going to be held to discuss the theme of artificial intelligence, health, and carbon neutrality. Take the artificial intelligence, for example. It's a very popular topic because it increased our productivity and efficiency greatly. However, it also raised some controversial issues. For example, where is the line between our privacy and the data collection? How could the data be collected and used in a proper way? The Zhongguancun Forum would invite participants to generate a discussion on this topic, and it also going to launch a guideline on AI ethics with hopes to regulate the AI technology. Well, the forum is also going to host a contest between the startups. Hundreds of startups, both in China and outside of China, would join to compete for cash prizes with a total number of 1 million RMB. That is about 150,000 US dollars. And many startups actually in Beijing emerged from this competition because the top winners could get funding, property, and even policy support from the government to develop their ideas. And many startups later on develop into mature high-tech companies in China. Therefore, the Zhongguancun Forum has a purpose to create an ecosystem for China's high-tech companies, and also this echoes with China's national policy to encourage the science and the technology innovation and development. We will update you with more details as the forum gets underway. Back to you.
And certainly some very apt topics to be explored at this forum. Thank you so much, Yang Shanshan. Now let's bring in Professor Liu Baocheng from the University of International Business and Economics. Good to have you with us, Professor Liu. What does China want to show to the rest of the world through this event?
Well, China is trying to show to the world the China's economic growth is stepping onto a model that is innovation-driven instead of relying on labor intensity. And also, China is showing that this a critical moment where the world is facing a number of daunting challenges like the pandemic, like the slow recovery of global economy, and also climate change. So China is there to gather the, not only from China, but from all over the world, the type of intelligence, the type of wisdom, the type of technologies that is able to found a more business-friendly and people-friendly solution to these daunting challenges. And in the meantime, China is going for a high-quality growth. So therefore, technology, health, and intelligence, they all contribute to such a grand goal. So therefore, this is a very important event where the world are still experiencing lockdown, are still being spooked by the pandemic, and to be able to gather roughly 500 people from all over the world to participate, and also to show that it is not only a talk show, but also it is really a business show, and where commercial transactions can be conducted and translate those IPs into real productivity. And this is something that is very unique and also very inspiring.
All right, thanks, Professor Liu. And we will come back to you in a moment, so please do stay with us. First, we want to hone in on carbon neutrality and green developments that are set to be discussed at the forum. Tech companies in China continue to introduce new solutions based on artificial intelligence to help create a cleaner world. Wang Xiying reports.
In September 2020, Chinese President Xi Jinping announced to the United Nations General Assembly that his country would reach carbon neutrality by 2060. Many around the globe see this as a tough ask, not least of all because China is the world's biggest emitter of carbon dioxide. But tech companies in China are already taking steps to reach the goal.
The medium voltage switchgear on the market is usually very large, making it consume lots of steel and copper. Now the new switchgear of higher is smaller. If China produces 400,000 switchgears every year, it will save 6,000 tons of copper and 13,000 tons of steel. That can also save 5 billion kilowatts of electricity.
The leading tech company has been focusing on the interconnection between the industrial internet and other high-end technologies for years. Its latest AI system empowers enterprises to use remote control technology, real-time monitoring, and data analysis.
Our full life cycle management scenario of smart power is an innovative practice of China's national carbon peak and carbon neutral strategy.
For enterprises, it's hoped technological developments like these are able to improve production, efficiency, and the operation of equipment. As for the bigger picture, for China, it's hoped every advance takes it one step closer to its ambitious climate goals. Wang Xiying, CGTN.
Professor Liu, I'd like to look at some of the details of this forum with you. For a start, health and carbon neutrality. This is front and center this year's forum. Why is this?
Well, when the world is facing the most daunting challenges, it is the people that is always at the center of concern and care. So health is the most imperative issue that the world need to stand together to fight against the common enemy, which is the COVID-19, and also its mutations. And now, people are having less productivity because the world is really being interrupted by the pandemic. So we need to generate income through a better employment by raising productivity, and technology is there to play. And then, the world is also facing a number of disasters like flood, like fire, like earthquake, etc., etc. So therefore, technology is there to help to pre-warn people and to get people more prepared and more informed, and also to help those governments and NGOs to come to the right type of aid. So all of this really rely on innovation, rely on technology, but always bear in mind it is the people that they are going to serve. It is not there to entrench the muscles of certain countries to bully the other, but it is there to have a shared fate and shared future for all the other people, and particularly to help those vulnerable countries, vulnerable communities. So this technology can really play out, but with more regulatory support.
So understandably, most countries are focused on fighting the pandemic. In what ways can the forum contribute to this?
Well, first of all, it is there to play out with artificial intelligence. It can help to better monitor the people's mobility, so that they are able to cut down the travel line and the footprint of the virus, and this has been proven to be highly effective in China, and that's why China has delivered the most amazing result by blocking the transmission of the virus, and then they also are there to to be able to operate teleconferencing. So that doctors and researchers can share data and can cure patients, and then they are also there to promote people's awareness over what is the right method, what is the right equipment, and what the right type of devices that they needed to be able to protect themselves in the right way, and what type of social distancing, etc., etc. And it's also there very important to substitute some of the miss-outs. When people cannot gather together, for example, when I teach in the universities over our international students, and we have to teach online, and we have to make sure that there is no bug with the transmission, and there can be a team discussion going on. So all of this relies on the internet technology and even artificial intelligence, and so this is really playing a very instrumental role to facilitate the current communication and current productivity that is badly needed in the world.
And Professor Liu, as you know, the UN General Assembly is going on, and earlier this week, President Xi told the Assembly that China will stop funding coal projects abroad. So can we expect any efforts on this front at the forum? And this is a major announcement.
Yes, this is really a very significant announcement, because China, has gathered ample experiences by operating coal power plants, because we have lots of coal that is still, playing the most important role in Chinese power generation. So to refrain from, exporting our equipment, to refrain from providing the right of the finance for the coal generators. So this is a very important commitment. And this shows that China is very serious, not only to deliver its own commitment at home, for carbon peak and carbon neutrality, but also showing the right type of responsibility, both on the front of the government and also on the front of businesses, bankers, etc., to ensure that other countries will also be able to make the right type of efforts and to switch more onto the renewable energies. But this requires a lot more cost, I should say, to build the right type of infrastructure, particularly for the storage capacity, for those wind powers, for those solar power, etc. So it requires more sophisticated way of operation and sophisticated way of collaboration. But this is the solemn pledge that China has made, and hopefully China's showcase example can really wake up a number of countries that can join the forces to address the common problem of climate change, particularly with less developed economies.
So Professor Liu, for you then, personally, what do you think are some of your biggest watch points? What are you going to be watching most closely about this forum?
Well, I really wanted to watch the most important deliverables, because nowadays there are too many forums, there are too many summits, and people just are there to gather celebrities and dignitaries to talk, and then nothing happens. But I would expect the Zhongguancun area, which I believe that they are going to not only to bring up awareness over the critical issues that we are all facing, but also to build the right of attitude, and more important, to build a concerted action, and more specifically to be able to commercialize the technology stockpiles that are accumulating, because China claimed that we are on top of the world by the number of patents, by the number of trademarks, and the utility rate is rather low, I should say. So,
Professor Liu, sorry, I do have to interrupt you there. We're going to go straight to the forum now. We've got the live pictures coming in. We are live at the forum, and it looks like it is about to get underway.
Vice Premier Liu He, leaders of participating countries and heads of international organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good evening. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the 2021 Zhongguancun Forum. On behalf of the organizing committee, I wish to express heartfelt thanks to governments of participating countries, international organizations, scientists, entrepreneurs, and all our friends for your support and participation. A warm welcome to all the guests attending in person or via the internet. The world today is undergoing repeated resurgence of the coronavirus, and world economy is recovering with a fragile momentum. Against this background, the forum demonstrates the great importance and firm commitment the Chinese government attaches to innovation and to greater international exchanges on science and technology. President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China will deliver an important video remarks, and Vice Premier Liu He is with us here tonight and will announce the opening of the forum. We are also joined by world leaders who will virtually address the opening ceremony. They are President Vučić of Serbia, Prime Minister Marrero of Cuba, Director General Darren Tang of WIPO, Secretary General Norov of the SCO, and President Reddy of the International Science Council. We're also joined by representatives of the science and technology departments of participating countries, representatives of international science and technology organizations and state-level research institutions, leading officials of the Chinese ministries, provinces, and municipalities, diplomatic envoys, heads of foreign business associations and enterprises, and delegates from universities, research institutes, innovative enterprises, and financial institutions in Beijing. In total, over 800 Chinese and foreign guests are attending the opening ceremony in person or via the internet. Themed intelligence, health, carbon neutrality. The forum this year includes over 60 events in 6 sections, namely forum meetings, technology transactions, exhibitions and presentations, progress release, frontier innovation competition, and supporting activities. We look forward to an in-depth exchange of views to build consensus, achieve more outcomes, and promote technological progress for better meeting the people's aspiration for better life. Now, please join me in a warm round of applause for the video remarks of President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good evening. As the 2021 Zhongguancun Forum opens, I send my warm congratulations to the forum and a hearty welcome to all participating guests. The world today is fast evolving with many significant changes unseen in a century. The COVID-19 pandemic has produced far-reaching impact, and the world economic recovery faces stern challenges. Now more than ever, there's the need for countries to intensify open cooperation and innovation in science and technology and work together to explore pathways and solutions to important global issues, meet the challenges of our times, and advance humanity's lofty cause of peace and development. Science and technology are great creative activities of mankind, and innovation is the primary force in spearheading development. In the world today, to advance science and technology, we must embrace a global vision, grasp the trend of the times, and respond to the latest demands arising from human life and production. China sets great store by science, technology, and innovation, and is committed to enhancing global collaboration on this front. We will strengthen relevant international exchanges with an even more open mind, actively engage in global innovation networks, and join in the global efforts to advance basic research, promote the commercialization of scientific and technological achievements, and foster new drivers of economic development. We'll step up intellectual property protection, create a first-rate environment for innovation, advocate the idea of tech for good, and improve global governance in science and technology with a view to enhancing the well-being of the entire humanity. Zhongguancun is China's first national independent innovation demonstration zone, and the Zhongguancun Forum is a state-level platform geared toward global exchanges and cooperation in the field of science, technology, and innovation. We support Zhongguancun in piloting a new round of reform, developing into a world-leading sci-tech park at a faster pace, and making new contributions to global exchanges and cooperation in science and technology. I encourage all of you to engage in an in-depth exchange of views, to inspire each other, and to come up with valuable recommendations for promoting global cooperation on science, technology, and innovation, and for the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. I wish the forum a complete success.
And there we had the message from President Xi Jinping to the Zhongguancun Forum, and the theme this year is intelligence, health, carbon neutrality, and it's set to take place over 4 days. Well, let's go back to our guest, Professor Liu Baocheng from the University of International Business and Economics. Thanks for sticking around, Professor Liu. So let's talk about some of the points of Xi's short but sweet speech. So he says that if mankind is to meet its many challenges, then we must learn to share and cooperate in technology and research. What do you think that means exactly?
Well, I think President Xi has shown his vision that it is the mankind shared future that is under the consideration of any people who are more responsible and with the right type of vision and forward-looking. So by promoting the sharing of technology, that means that the technology will be used to improve business productivity and also to improve the quality of people's life. So technology shall not be distorted to the point that they are used to support some hegemonies and also the bullying over other countries, and by playing an upper hand. And also that by sharing, it also requires the openness and also requires the right type of mechanism that what can be shared. And then it also requires the participation of multiple stakeholders. It is not only the company that is going to share, but also the country with the right type of regulatory environment, and the non-governmental organizations, and they all need to do that. And lastly, I think by sharing, it also means that to amplify the utility and the benefit that is able to be derived from the technical innovation, to spread its benefit to a larger number of population, either in the north or in the south, and address the common challenges President Xi has been pointing out, which is the climate change issue, the economic recovery issue, and now the most imperative one, which is the COVID-19.
And Professor Liu, I want to have a quick look at some of the strides that China has made in science and technology, and especially in innovation. So this week, the World Intellectual Property Organization ranked China at number 12 in its Global Innovation Index for 2021. And experts say certain policies and incentives in China have led to rapid growth in high-tech exports, and citing the growing number of patents, trademarks and industrial designs originating in the country. An editor of the report says China's pro-innovation policies have reinforced science industry links and predicts that Chinese firms will continue to push to innovate. So, Professor Liu, so bearing that in mind, President Xi also said that China is willing to increase cooperation and exchanges in science and tech. Just very quickly for us, because we're running a little low on time, what's he conveying here? Is this China leading by example? What kind of actions might we see?
Yes, I think China does lead by example, because by having those technologies that are being developed, and by boosting its own productivity, we are also contributing to the benefit of the global community, and also by leveraging those the science research, we are able to put them into commercial use, so that the world can really tie up to share its fruition.
All right, well, Professor Liu, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights with us. That's Liu Baocheng. And that brings us to the end of this special coverage. I'm Jiao Yang. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in a minute for China 24.